Well, hello there. This is William Reginald Cunningham, aka Reggie, and this is an episode of Life by Reggie, life vlog um, that I'm bringing to you. And the purpose is to just share my experiences in with the thought that it may help you somehow. Because I've noticed that when I'm watching, different YouTube videos, even if people are just sharing what they do on vacation, you can do in Florida, life situations, religious stuff, Christian stuff, I can pull something from those videos. So I thought I'd share my thoughts too. It might help someone. So there you go. That's it. You can visit me or go to my website at www.rpcr. Well, that is one of my websites, www.rpcr.com, but you go to www.williamrcunningham.com. And that is the portal to all my websites, even the RPCR, which is my technology website. All right, so you can go there, www.williamrcunningham.com, and you will have a link, a way to get to these videos and perhaps articles that I write from in various genres, like religious or Christian, or technology, marriage, and so forth. All right. All right. So this particular video is part of my Life by Reggie series of videos designed to perhaps help you with some of the things that I've come across in my life. And one of the things that I've come across recently, actually it's not recently, I've been thinking about this for a very long time, but it kind of came to a pinnacle, if you will, in a webinar that I attended for my job. It was a workplace harassment and discrimination webinar training, and it was very good. Yeah, it was very good, and I think that should be something that staff does, have to go through every year. When I was in the government, we did go through stuff like that every year. But I thought it was very informative, and it helps to get everybody on the same page about harassment and discrimination. But one of the things that I noticed is that, and I had asked a couple of questions during the webinar. One was who determines what's subjective and objective. All right, that's a whole nother ball game. And the person gave a really, really good answer. And another thing was, is it required? Because, it was talking about people harassing you, making unwanted advances, and I, look at a situation of people offending you. And in this case, in this context, it was the workplace. But this extends to well beyond the workplace. It could be just your family. It could be your spouse, your marriage. It could be your church. It could be, of course, your workplace. It could be anywhere where you have relationships, some kind of relationships with people. And that is that we're not expected to be straight with people. People really don't expect you to be straight with them unless they know you and they've gotten to know you and they know you're the type of person that's going to be straight, like my father. My father was just a straight person. You ask him a question, he's going to give you a straight answer. My mother, I learned a very valuable skill from my mother, and that is to resolve conflicts. My mom would ask, did I do anything to offend you? If it seems like you're giving her the cold shoulder or something, I'm not really sure, but something that triggers her to think that perhaps you have an issue. All right, and she'll reach out to resolve it. And I learned, I watched these two paradigms, if you will, growing up, and they just kind of caught on to, I assume me and my brothers. So I learned to be straight, or at least pursue being straight, and I learned resolving conflict. But those are the very things that, this webinar really highlighted, that I kind of gathered, I kind of reckoned, if you will, for just in general. You can't be straight with people. All right, especially in today's, more liberal world, where it's love, 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 and everybody's good and all this kind of stuff. I don't know if that's liberal, but that's what I associate it with. But I'm trying to make a political statement. I'm just saying that people are just so wishy-washy. I call it the wussification of America because things are so softy now, where back in the day, it wasn't softy like that. But I don't get into that. The thing is, if someone offends you, if someone says something that you don't like, all right, it really gets in you, it really hurts you, why wouldn't you tell the person? Now, maybe if it's just one time, maybe it was just a one-time thing, they were angry or whatever, but if you notice, at least if you notice a consistency, why wouldn't you say something? If your spouse does something that you don't like, why wouldn't you say something? And it goes both ways. You have to be able to listen to your spouse. You know, the only person that we probably give that right to be straight to is probably our parents. Especially your mother. My mother's always going to be straight with me. If she sees something, she's going to bring it out, and I love her for that. That's very, very valuable. But other people will watch you and not say anything. People will offend you, and you won't say anything. I learned as a kid, and I think it's Matthew 18, I believe, where Jesus said, if someone offends you, go to that person and reconcile, and you've gained your brother right away. I imagine if we did that, we just went to the person and said, I was thinking about what you said, and it really did hurt my feeling, it made me think blah, 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 or whatever, And so I learned that in the Bible. I learned that from my parents, my mom in particular, resolve that conflict. I learned to be straight, from my father, so I have a problem, and it produces an issue with me that I live in a society where you can't be straight with people, and that's unfortunate. That's really unfortunate. Can you be straight with people? In the webinar, the presenter said that you are not legally required to tell the person that they did something or said something that you were uncomfortable with, you were offended by, or you felt harassed or whatever, even maybe even discriminated. You didn't even tell the person. I think it's more so for harassment, that you didn't tell the person that you were offended or that it hurt you. I don't believe it's necessary that we go around every time, "Hey, you hurt my feelings." I mean, come on, grow up. Things happen. But if something, like if it's something that really offends you, because if it offends you, resentment can grow in you and start hurting you, and that person may go on with their life day to day, maybe in the workplace or whatever, and have no idea that you were offended. But you were offended, you held that resentment in. All right, next thing you know, it's tearing you apart. It's like, I forget who said it, where I learned it or heard it. It's like drinking poison, expecting the other person to die. So you should just be straight with people. If they offended you, tell them. Otherwise, you can, if you're a master at forgiveness, if you will, of throwing things off, you can just, well, whatever. All right, but if you're not, you hold it in. You better say something, because it can reach out and it can end up hurting you more than the other person. All right. And I thought that was really interesting that the presenter said that you're not legally required to say something. You're not legally required to say something. Can you be straight with people? Do you find that you have a problem being straight with people? Do you find that you can't say what you want to say, all right, truthfully, because the other person is going to react emotionally, or you have to worry about their feelings, certain things like that? Do you? I mean, that's problematic, especially in more close relationships like a marriage. If you can't be honest and straight with your spouse, then that's a bad situation, which, it probably occurs a whole lot, because people are people. That's the same person in the workplace that it is at home. So if you can't be straight with your own spouse, then that's a real problem. If you can't really say what really is bothering you, then it's just going to keep building up and building up and building up. I remember a situation where I brought a candle warmer to my job, and I use it to light candles, not fire, but just warm them up, not light them, warm them up, and that way you still get that aroma without the fire. Okay, and someone evidently did not like it. I don't remember what they didn't like about it, what the issue was, but they didn't come to me. They went to my boss, and then my boss came to me. And I was offended, which was I was offended. I was taken back because I'm wondering, why didn't the person just tell me? You know, I mean, if it was too strong, if it was a smell they didn't like or whatever, I'm too sensitive, my nose is too sensitive, I'm allergic or whatever. Instead of telling me, they go to somebody else, and that someone else had to come to me. It's just weird. It reminds me of a song by I think it was the Emotions, you know, don't tell my neighbors, come to me, or something like that. I forget. But anyway, that was a weird situation. And I never had experienced it so blatant before, where the person would just be straight. I don't like your candles, or those candles really bother me, Reg. You know, I'm sorry to be no sorry necessary. You know, I understand. You know, people are different. Some people can't stand certain smells, so forth and so on. And it would have been the end of it. I would have turned it off and took it home and never brought it back. But that was kind of weird that you can't be straight with people. You can't, and not only can't you be straight with people, you're not even expected to be straight with people. And according to the webinar, legally, as far as harassment in the workplace, you're not even legally required. You know, it's, and another thing, it's the supervisor or manager is required to report a harassment that they see, but there's no requirement for anybody to tell the person. I'm telling you, I don't understand it. That's our society. It's goofy. All right. I believe we would have much better relationships and much better human relationships if we were just straight and honest with each other. There are probably some societies where that is the case, but we might look now and say that if you were straight with people, then you're going to do this, they're going to respond this. Well, that's because we're used to being wusses. All right, we're used to, well, you hurt my feeling. Ooh, okay, instead of being in a society where it's normal to be straight. It's normal to be honest. You know, not saying that people won't lie. I mean, come on. But to be straight with people is not normal. You're not expected to be straight with people. People don't want you to be straight with them, even though they may say so. Because as soon as you start doing it, been there, done that, all hell can break loose. All right? So be straight with people. Try to. And allow people to be straight with you. Be approachable. Don't be that person that always get the feelings hurt and, you know, practicing the wussification of America. All right, be strong, you know, and be honest. All right. What are your thoughts? I mean, do you find it an issue to be straight with people? Do you find it a problem to be when people are straight with you? Like if someone's, like for example, if your breath stinks, you know, I don't mean, but when I say be straight, I don't mean just, hey man, your breath stinks. No, some people, you know what they might do? You know, they'll say, hey, 1 minute. Okay. And you'll kind of get the message, yeah, give me 3. Okay. All right. They're helping you out because now you don't want to go around with stink breath all over the place. You got one chance for a first impression. All right. So what do you think? What are your issues? What are your experiences as far as being straight with people? All right. All right. Well, this is William R. Cunningham. Oh, this is Reggie. Call me Reggie. And this is just my Life by Reggie video about being straight with people. The fact that we're not expected to, not even legally. All right. And you can visit my website, www.williamrcunningham.com. From there, you can get to these videos. At the time of this video, I have not created a separate website for this, but I think I will. But in any case, you'll be able to get to it from that WilliamRCunningham.com website. If you have any questions, you know what to do. Put it in the leave a comment. All right, or you can just email me, Reggie@WilliamRCunningham.com. You know, and I'll answer you back. All right, straight. Okay. Well, I want you to do what I always tell people to do. I want you to go out there and be you.